Forgot the overlay again. Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to a zoomed-in episode of... Okay, that's better. No, I did not have to use a different camera. It's just that if by default, it's on 480p at 720 if you're using a new browser. And in case anyone's wondering, and watching the VOD, the reason I'm using a new browser is because for some reason Opera decided to not accept my microphone or camera anymore. And that's why, even though I was on time today, I actually was like, okay, what on earth is going on? I'm going to try restart my computer. I'm going to try a bunch of these things. Eventually, I just said, like, you know what, whatever, forget about this. I'm just going to use a different browser for today. And I know for a fact that Restream worked the best on Opera Google Chrome. So I had to then install Google Chrome again, sign into Google Chrome, and here I am. So there we go. All right, let's see. That being said, there's also a change of plans in the sense that the reason that I wasn't actually around was because I originally had a plan today to make like the musical edit version of My Passion, because that's one thing the BB's one is like, okay, I'll do this. But then I also mentioned last time this episode, and because I was in the middle of collecting this stuff, and then suddenly my dad comes to my room and says, like, hey, you know, your aunt and cousin are here for the quiz. Like, for the quiz? Wait, the quiz is today? Like, we do, like, I mentioned before, we do like a pub quiz every month, and it turns out that yes, this was a quiz today. We came second, so just as well that I went to that. But hey, you know, all of that context aside, I'm still on StreamYard, yes, but do I want to try Microsoft Edge on the off chance that it will not work as well? Not particularly. So, you know. Anyway, go and join us down the journey of memory lane. You say that, I actually haven't watched this yet. However, the reason that it's been on my radar for a number of years, and that is because I've talked about this before, but the infamous video of like the history of the gacha community by kamexri that I have complained about at length, particularly when it comes to the stance on voice acting. However, one other thing that they mention in that video is actually that the first gacha series apparently to blow up, according to them, was this one. That's One Mute Girl. You know, I say all the way back in 2018. I was expecting 2017, quite honestly. I was surprised about how recent it was when I checked like the date, which implies that gacha was much more niche than I originally anticipated in the early half of 2018. Well, just basically during the entire time of the gacha studio era, which doesn't really add up for me. But I don't know. I suppose it wouldn't be the first time that kamexri said something that was misleading or straight up incorrect. But we're going to go on the assumption that this was a thing. That's why that appears on my radar. And apparently, Emily has watched this one and has talked about this as far as you know, memory lane goes. And that she has very full memories of this, and apparently this predates a lot of the stuff that essentially ruined the reputation of the gacha community for the rest of time. So it put the community on the map to start off with, and also did not rely on the stuff that a lot of people were doing to blow up at the time. Which essentially means that it's kind of like a which I said it's kind of like it's one of the things like that actually break into, I guess, the mainstream without having to, you know, like without being like the community itself watching the videos, potentially. So it's kind of like, it's a very interesting case study in that regard, and one that I have wanted to look at for a long time. Where's that one so familiar? Mute, that one, mute, and girl, the mutant girl. Yeah. So I guess, since you mentioned that, quick other disclaimer, I suppose. The mutant girl was not inspired by this series because, again, I have not watched it. I was not aware of its existence until kamexri posted that video, which I think might have been in like 2020, 2021, potentially. Sometime during that era. So, yeah. well into the Mutant Girls production. I know that you were joking, but just in case for the VOD users. Is there a warning earlier? Should I say again? Yeah, please do say it again because I don't know. Are you able to talking about it when you first on Gacha? Okay, yeah, that's all right. Well, I guess we're in we're in good hands then. It's always interesting when I go back and watch like classic Gacha videos that I haven't seen but people have because I either will they either get to see somebody who like gets to witness for the first time what they've experienced multiple times, which it's essentially is one of the reasons why people like reaction content. To be honest, I think it is a case of like you want to recapture like the essence of like what you felt when you watched this thing that you enjoyed for the first time, and watching somebody else go through that is a way of doing that. That's why I like watching DBZA reactions, particularly because I like seeing people's reactions to DBZA for the first time. And I assume that's the same thing for a lot of the StarKid stuff that we do on the Butter Punch. But anyway, okay, so there's a coach of the copyright song in this video. Okay, so players around 209 in the video. Good to know because I actually, again, the advantage of StreamYards, I actually have timestamps now. So, all right then, that's good to know. Also, hello to KW as well. Those I said have a little free time. Fair enough. Is Emily joining us today? No, I do not have any guests for this video. So it's that what the one mute group chat, I suppose. There's also nostalgia for myself as Ultimate Spirits for the very first exposure. The reason I created an account to submit fan art, it really made me express more of my creativity to tell stories. Okay, then yeah, 100%. We're in this I guess the pressure is on, but it's fine. It's fine. We've been through this before. Okay, here we go. Here it is. It's a different download folder this time. Okay. All right. Episode 1, she's mute. Indeed she is. She's that one mute girl. All right. Without further ado, on with the review. Okay, I'm assuming this is also a copyrighted song, but I guess because it's Nightcore, it hasn't been like detected or something. For the record, I did close the browser with the video open, so I can't check that anymore. But there's a very high chance this video will not be monetized for long. Okay, Arabelle has a normal life just like any other girls. She also apparently has a younger sister called Belle. You have Arabelle and Belle. Okay, off to a interesting start. Okay. I find it challenging to define we used a VTuber. Big question why I want to stay watching this video with sassy hips waddle into the back rooms. You know what? I actually, since I now have a better graphics processor, I have considered on this computer bringing back the VTuber at some point. Not sure when I would do that, but it's on my bucket list of things to do. She's speaking of the I mean, that is a good point. I guess, with a mouth open like this, it does seem like they're having a conversation. Not really sure about that. Until her sister left due to a car accident. A car accident happened ever since, and she was like, I'm gonna head out. I assume this is, okay, in all seriousness, I assume this is like the equivalent of saying, of saying unalived nowadays. But this kind of, this predates the concept of saying unalived on videos. So I guess that's probably why. All right, then. It is Nightcore. The visual song is Heartbeat by Marcus and Martinus. Or Martinus. Oh, the song plays until... Okay. I thought you said... Oh, I misinterpreted your warning. I thought you said it played at 2:09, not that it played until 2:09. Okay. In that case, I will mute the video. You know what? Let's see if we can get some... No, I haven't got good music options for this. You know what's the thing I can do now that I can add music to the streams? I should get like a playlist of just like general like atmospheric stuff that I can use for different reasons. But yeah, VTuber kind of shows Japanese as if screaming into a pillow and walking off screen for a bit, etc. There is also that. So I guess in that case you weren't too disappointed when I stopped using the VTuber, which which is a relief. Okay. Due to the traumatizing incident, she becomes mute. Okay, this isn't where I thought it was going. I mean, much like Bon, I thought that she was going to be like born mute, but I guess this makes sense too. And actually, fun fact about my past, my my first and as of yet only role on a TV series was as an extra in in this show called Brotherhood, which was which the concept of which is that these two brothers have to raise their younger brother after their mum has died, and the younger brother he actually he actually has become mute because of that incident. So he, well, not really. He sometimes speaks. He very rarely speaks. It's not like he's unable to do so. He just chooses not to because of the incident. Now you've done it. I'm going to find in the background of Brotherhood. Episode 4, if you're curious. Anyway. But so yeah, not a substantial role, but I do remember watching the first 4 episodes, and then we kind of like quit the series after after my role, because I guess my parents weren't really into it. Anyway, first time someone watching someone react to Gacha live. Well, welcome to the stream. We do these virtually all the time on here. Like, this channel is just is full of that. All right. Anyways, don't be sad, little sis. No, sorry, don't be sad, sis. You're little sis. I read that wrong. I unpaused it, by the way. It's just that this is on the screen for some time. People think it's her fault. Why? Was she driving the car? And I guess by people, her parents specifically. I did say that this was like before a lot of the stuff that like ruined the reputation of the gacha community, and I guess that is still the case. But I suppose they were not exempt from distant and possibly neglectful parents becoming a thing. Actually, this might have been the originator of that trope. Now that I think about it, because if a lot of people got into making gacha stuff because of this video, then they might have seen that, and that's what they might have like used as. Oh my goodness. Okay, we might be seeing the birthplace of a bunch of gacha tropes. I guess you could also say it's sort of like a predecessor to like to the hated child, like the idea of like one child being beloved and the other one being despised for no reason. Except in this case, it was born out of grief. Kind of reminds me like how the origin of the harem anime was actually through like a show that was meant to like point out the absurdity of that idea, and then it just became a genre. Anyway, don't watch the first ones, though, if I will scar you. Those weren't live, by the way. Gacha Review was not always a live show, but it is now. The first live Gacha reviews actually were Fallen Angels, if you want to start from the beginning, I suppose. Anyway. Okay. We have Aunt Sal. Okay. I guess this is implying that the parents decided to leave her because they blamed her for whatever happened, and I guess we're not going to get any further. We're not get any further information about that. And so she now lives with Aunt Sal. Okay, fair enough. All right. Have you seen the new hunk next door? Yeah. I'm guessing Holly's another neighbor. Hey, Arabelle, go play with Vincent over there. Be nice to her. She doesn't talk. Cut to her talking. She's literally saying, okay, what? You could have had her like, well, I guess not necessarily nod her head, because that's difficult to do in Gacha Studio. Because I remember that they have limited pose in Gacha Studio, but like, she could have just like not reacted and then you just obeyed, and then like, okay, fine, she's acknowledged the thing. What? Okay, yeah, now you can say it's clickbait, Bond. There we go. Now it's clickbait for sure. We got there eventually. just Googled it, and trauma caused selective mutism, the inability to cope with a traumatic experience. So it's just selective mutism. I looked it up for my own curiosity. Yeah, there's a number of things that cause like selective mutism, but that is one of them. Um, but that being said, it's not looking very selective right now. This is literally the first scene of the video, and we already have a not like living up to the name of like the title of the series. Okay. All I can find is format is the fourth episode is called Brotherhood. Well, I mean the sequel, well the second series is called Brotherhood entirely, so I can see what you mean there. If it helps, the network that aired it was Comedy Central UK. Oh, we have the camera panning thing that a lot of old Gacha stuff had. I think Lily Trescott had the exact same issue. Also, another issue that people have is that because this is so old that people didn't think to do camera angles yet. Again, Midori Stories was one of the people to really push for that to a certain extent. So because of that, a lot of stuff happens at the same time. People hadn't really gotten accustomed to anything to do with this. I'm not sure if Cute Spud has other videos before this one on the channel. I'll have to check that out at some stage, but based on the way this was presented, it does seem like a first attempt, so there's going to be a lot of that stuff. Some of these outfits are questionable. Yeah, a lot of the Gacha Studio outfits are questionable. If memory serves me well, in Gacha Studio, you had different like combinations of outfits that have already been like pre-made, and you couldn't customize them. You couldn't take like one item from one of them and put them in another, and there wasn't like a gallery like we have nowadays. So because of that, you just end up with a lot of these and very little in order to customize. And with Aunt Sal having, I guess, just gotten out of bed potentially. Also, Heterochrome makes an appearance. Yes, but not as of yet in the format of that being like a cursed feature of some kind. Although, based on the fact that the eye is red, it does seem like that may be a thing. We'll see. The only thing you could change about the apples was the color, and you only had like 3 color combo options. There we go. Yeah, so this was definitely that's definitely why the apples are so questionable. That being said, I'm sure that Aunt Sal could have picked something else. You know, there wasn't nothing at the time. Anyway. Should I talk to him? No, me! Like how the adults act like children. They act like teenagers. And speaking of the children, I guess we're just straight going into it. You know, how come we never talk? Ask the question directly. You know, if somebody if somebody doesn't talk, asking them why they don't talk normally isn't going to work, and therefore, because they wouldn't talk. What kind of idea is this? I guess it is kind of like a very childlike thing to do, but at the same time, like, it seems that the way to say like, "Hey, how come we ever talk?" As if like like the thought just crossed his mind, like they've been like hanging out for some time now. It's kind of like clumsily worded, I think, a little bit. They're really leaning into the mute logic. Yeah, like mute logic. I'd expect her to respond. A true question, yeah. And yeah, as far as this, yeah, like I said before, like the panning, a lot of the time back then, the panning was accidental. I don't think that was a conscious choice that Cute Spud made. Well, it could be wrong. Problem is, we'll probably never know because Cute Spud, according to kamexri, has not uploaded in a number of years. So that knowledge is lost to time at the moment. Okay. Admittedly, so I've seen these like cards be used for money when colored green, but never as a notepad before. I guess that is the closest thing that you could actually get. And on top of that, also, okay, this I would have put that as captions, honestly. Like have the caption show that it says like I don't know, we're supposed to, considering that QSpub was able to do that towards the beginning for the narration portion. But that being said, like she says she doesn't know, so I guess. But she must have connected the dots, right? Like even if she doesn't know why the accident caused her to develop selective mutism, she should at least realize that's what triggered it. I would have thought. If she turned answer vocally, I would have. Yeah, fair enough. Apparently I got something by Ghost Kitty because we don't have Josh to do. Oh, okay, all right. So there's some FAQs that we have that I will put on screen. Oh, you actually like named the file. Thanks, Ghost Kitty. That helps a lot. Okay. Let's see. Where do I do my Popeye impression here? All right, here we go. All right, so the description says, "Made in Gacha Studio. OMG, how does this cringy old video get 1 million views?" Yep. We're gonna find out. Also, yeah, June 26, 2018. So not the start of the Gacha community, but again, I guess you know what? I want to check out some 2017 gachas. If anyone, all of you gacha veterans out there, send me some 2017 gachas. That's one thing I really want to see. Like stuff that predates even this. Back when it was really niche. I want to see if like there's if that's true. If anything was like truly original there, or like there was like a few people copying each other, or all the ideas were even crazier. I don't know. Vincent, sorry, the FAQs. Is she deaf? No, she's not deaf. She won't talk a single word anymore after her sister's death. Not a single word. There is no instance whatsoever of her saying a single word after her sister's death. There is no documented evidence that she has ever uttered a word after her sister's death. Do not rewind this video to find out. Anyway, are Vincent and Arabelle cousins? No, aren't San Hodges neighbors. I thought so. Why'd you say okay if she's not mute? Okay, so apparently Ara is. Oh, so Ara, so for Arabelle, okay. It was thinking not speaking. Watch episode 2 if you want to know how she become mute. What do you mean watch episode 2? Episode 1 said that. Her sister had an accident, then she became mute. That was like the first bit of narration. Why is episode 2 the part that tells us that? I don't get it. I'm lost. I'm lost here. Okay. And yet Bond is exactly like that, yeah. Deaf typically means mute most of the time. Mute does not mean deaf. Squares right top right equals a square. Yeah. I actually watched all of a series called The Dragon Prince on Netflix recently. There's a deaf character in that one. But at one point, so she actually doesn't like say anything until a certain point where, because she's a general, so she like at one point she's like fighting a bunch of like corrupted monsters or something. Long story, and she's trying to like make sure that everyone leaves, and because she's not able to like fight inside at the same time, she actually like yells go, or like tries to like mutters go to them. So in that case, because I think that's the thing, is that is that deaf people are able to speak. It's just because they're not used to, like, they haven't trained their their vocals to do it. It comes out not sounding very good or very like modulated at all. So that's the difference. So yeah, technically speaking, they're not mute either, but for the most part, they would not attempt to speak to people, because that's what sign language is for. That's part of it. Anyway, there you go. Oh, if you love a Dragon Prince, then I guess that means you must know the character I'm talking about. Then you probably remember the scene. Then yeah, all right then, fair enough. I did not edit anything. That's the actual description. Yeah, okay. I thought so. Yeah, I don't think I didn't imagine you would have edited the description. I trust you. I trust you enough to not do that. Oh, William wanted to join. Oh, okay. All right. I will. I'll send him a thing. William is not a veteran gacha watcher. In fact, his first exposure to gacha was actually through me. So I think that was Taming the Bad Boy, actually, which is one heck of a start. There you go. All right, I sent the thing. Devin says that also someone becomes deaf, they learn speech before becoming deaf. They can wear a cochlear to enhance the ability to hear. Yes, but like but in the sense of like, you know, scientifically. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, actually, I did. There was a guy like the year below me who I was friends with, and he did have a cochlear implant, and so he you know wasn't mute. He didn't use sign language, at least not around us anyway. So yeah, he just spoke. He just spoke as any non-deaf person would. So that is another option too, but you know, for the Dragon Prince, I don't think that General Amaya had that option. So, but that's the thing. Like, deaf people, technically speaking, aren't actually mute. They can be mute and deaf, but that's the whole that's you know, they're two different classifications, but ultimately, usually addressed the same way by society. William is here.
Oh, I am late because steak burgers are steak burgers, and they're a pain to eat half the time.
Don't worry, Opera GX is a pain to me at the moment to use because my camera and browser and microphone didn't work.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat right before I had to go to dinner. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I don't know what's happening in the plot because I have not been here for like half the stream. It feels like already because this is a 4-minute music video, basically.
Well, I mean, somewhat, yeah. Apparently, this, yeah, we're halfway through the copyrighted song, so I'll be able to unmute the video eventually.
Oh boy. Okay, well, yep. So run down on what's happened because I have no idea.
Okay, so Arabelle used to have a sister called Belle because obviously the parents are the most uncreative people on the planet, I guess. However, Belle died in a car accident, and since then, she has developed selective mutism. Even though she just said in this bit here, she doesn't know why she can't talk, even though that was to explain to us. And apparently apparently people blame her for what happened. I'm not sure if because she was driving the car or something, or she distracted like the driver of the
Because
vehicle
people
at the
are
time,
idiots is
or
what I've come to in these things.
yeah, I don't know because we haven't got any concrete evidence for that. All we saw was like her parents walking away, as if, but there was no explanation as to why they blame her for that as of yet. And so she lives with her aunt Sal now. Aunt Sal has a friend Holly, whose son is Vincent, and it seems like they've just met. And Vincent has said Holly said to Vincent, "Be nice to her. She doesn't talk." And Vincent has just asked to her, "Hey, why don't you talk?" Despite the fact that if she couldn't talk, she couldn't answer him. But good thing she has a notepad on her that we didn't see, so that worked out.
If you can't speak, just use the notepad, I guess. I'll get your point across, or a mic up sign.
Yeah, yeah. The problem that I had before was the fact that she didn't. I don't think she's like learned sign language yet because I think it's like a fairly recent development. But yeah, my problem was the fact that we didn't see her have a notepad before. So as far as Vincent was concerned, she would have no way of replying to his question.
Yeah. Like,
she seems like 5. I hope she wasn't trying.
This is where exposition is needed to do exposition for the fact that she has a notepad. At the very least, if you're going to do exposition, at least make it clear that she has a notepad at the very beginning, so that it's not just completely nonsensical.
Yeah, one thing that I'm wondering is because with Gacha Studio, I wonder if you could only hold props in certain poses. Because then if she had like the issue was like, you know, had her arms down, that she couldn't have the notepad at all times. I'm not sure about that, but that might have been a thing.
No. Okay.
Anyway.
I'm also right.
You don't know, well, that's fine. All one sentence, no punctuation. You can be my friend.
Grammar, please. Please get here right now.
That's fine. You don't know about the talking. You can be my friend. Then you won't need to talk. What?
That makes no sense. Hold on.
Yeah, there was an editing issue where she was supposed to think the words "okay," but like spoke them out loud in a speech bubble.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Also, I'm opening up 1.21 right now, so hopefully my computer doesn't die.
I guess these two appear from literally nowhere.
Of course, they appear from the aether. Not an untraditional thing. I mean, I'm used to it somewhat at this point.
Vincent, come play ball with us. Yeah, it's more fun than talking to that freak.
Excuse me, I have better things to do than deal with
I guess
you two.
yeah, I guess Aunt Petunia came into the chat. Imagine the panning again. How does one pan accidentally? From what I know, I think it's KaiMaster that has this issue, but I guess no logo, so it might be multiple things. I think there's like some sort of
Yeah.
like default in some editing softwares where it will just pan the image like
Maybe.
automatically. I think there's like a way to shut that
I've
down. But
had
again, I've not
issues
used any
with
softwares.
DaVinci Resolve keyframing system, but I've been getting used to it, so I don't know. I don't know what editing
Yeah.
software they used here. Probably was on mobile, which means it probably was even worse than what we have. Why
I've seen
isn't there
some.
any good free editing software for mobile that are easy to use and not a clunky mess?
I don't know. I don't know. Even then, I still think editing on PC would be better because, like, you can at least then, if you want to go into
Yeah.
like minute detail, you can actually see what you're doing.
I've been tempted to learn how to code for phones just so I can make the definitive editing software for phones that is free that also doesn't cost their arm and a leg.
Maybe. Honestly, like even stuff like I imagine how much of a pain keyframe must be on a mobile editor, just because you're like, okay, I'm gonna
Ooh.
like keyframe here, so I'm gonna like pinpoint that bit there, then I'm gonna move the track there. Whoops, Butterfingers. Like that that just seems like a nightmare to me.
This
So
is
that's why
why
I've never
tablets are
like
better.
yeah, and Gacha is available on tablets, so yeah, that is probably the ultimate compromise.
Yeah. If you can't get a computer, just have a tablet. Or connect your phone to a monitor and then have a keyboard connected to your phone and then maybe a mouse if possible so you can have a mini computer.
That's a good point. Yeah, connecting your phone to a monitor might be an option. However, problem with that is that at least for my monitor here, like the cable is like this big, so I don't know how that will work on most like normal monitors. If they have like another one that has like a different thing, but as for me, yeah, no, that's not happening. I had to put this back in so I can see what I'm doing now. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah. That's what the undo button is for. Yes. However, actually, yeah, that does probably exist. As far as the undo button goes, that there is an option, of course, to anticipate making mistakes and then keep pressing the undo button, or to address the problem at the root source and account for it in the future. I prefer the second option. Anyway. No thanks. Honestly, yeah, they could have all played together, but I guess Roxy and Aqua probably already know Arabelle.
They're just jerks. That's the fact. Why is everyone in Gacha saying not good people? What is up with this?
Yeah, I mean, well, I said this before, but considering that according to kamexri, not a reliable source, but according to kamexri, this was the first Gacha series to properly like blow up and into the mainstream. This is kind of what put the community on the map. Which means that potentially, if this is like some people's first exposure to Gacha before they started doing it themselves, this video could be the originator of a lot of the tropes that we have seen in Gacha videos today.
Oh no.
We've already seen like the neglectful parents, and I also said before that it's kind of like a hint of hated child in there, because I guess like Belle was the beloved child and Arabelle got the blame for stuff that she wasn't able to. She might have been like despised for no reason. So by proxy, I suppose. But yeah. Whatever, let's go. Aqua, your bow is fading into the background. That might have been like a transparent prop or something. Which, by the way, there's not too much like transparent like clothing or props or anything actually nowadays. They might have just removed that option. I mean, that being said, it's very easy to do with editing, but it's not.
I swear, one of the most common words I see to hit on self-hatred or hatred of other people is freak. I swear to God, this word is everywhere.
Yeah, well, I guess again, Monica. I would say it might have come from here, but honestly, it's probably more likely the music freaks played more a part than that.
Music freaks makes just a lot more sense.
Yeah, and one person I don't think what watched this back in the day and got inspired to make Gacha was Rosie Closey, because I remember she specifically said that her inspiration for that was this cute chibi app and how can I hop on this versus because I mean I mean, this isn't quite chibi, and also as far as the cuteness factor goes, Gacha Studio wasn't quite there yet, so I wouldn't. I don't know.
Didn't know.
Shadow of the head's the name tag blending into the bow. Anyway, oh, you don't have to play with me. I am a freak.
Well, we needed like the text to speech thing for that. Hold on, let me see if I can like get a. No, I don't think I can get it. But
No, it's fine. I can do it. You don't have to play with me. I am a freak.
I don't want to play with them. I prefer to be with you. That just, oh boy, that dialogue.
And she's already blushing. She just met this guy, for the record.
Every
like,
time
met
it's
him,
a
like,
forced
a minute.
romance. That, oh my. Build
I really-
realistic chemistry and spend time instead of just like, this is what pacing is for. Even
I
then,
remember
though,
when
you can't do good pacing in a 4-minute video, basically.
I remember when KW reviewed Running with You on one of her channels, and her biggest complaint was like the quick pacing of the romance. And it was like, because knowing of course full well, you know, having been there during the writing process and like how it was meant to condense into 5 episodes, and that being said, and the passages of time not being super obvious in the actual like movie edit themselves. While I was watching that, I was just like, every time that I knew something was coming, it's like, oh no, here's the hell bit, here comes the bit. Yep, they're kissing now.
Boy.
Yep, okay, all right. Oh no.
Yep.
Anyway, guess I'm playing the role of Josh today, Shane. Stuff with Jacob to answer his questions. Oh, that's right. You said send me something else, didn't you? Oh, okay. Oh, a lot of other stuff. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, there's 4 new images that I got sent. Well, 3 of which are just Gacha Studio, like, you know, outfit selections and such.
Okay. Anyways, let's get back into hell.
One of them is literally just called Stupid Gacha Studio Props. Oh, 2 of them are.
Stupid Gacha Studio Props.
Yeah, I like the fact that. Yeah, I like it when people just send me stuff and name their files. It does help a lot. All right, so first of all we have oh, not that. First of all we have this one. Okay, so this is about set mutism. So it can develop without a person knowing. Okay, yes, but I feel like eventually they would react to it for thought. It often begins in child between the ages of 2 and 4, but when my daughter child starts school. Misdiagnosis is rare. It can be mistaken for autism and communication disorder. People must think child is being willful or oppositional. If left untreated, like music resistant to adulthood, anxiety trigger can refer to freeze response if they expect to talk to certain people to make it impossible for them to speak. Over time, the basic situation to treat them and to avoid them. Students of anxiety and behavior of home elements behave in a similar way. Yeah. Well, I mean, what I said before that she would have like known that it was, you know, what triggered it, because she would have to remember. In this case, that's the incident that happened. Like I got told this, but apparently apparently one of my cousins, not the one that I did the quiz with tonight, different side of the family, he actually didn't like talk until he was about 4, I think. And the only way that he communicated was through a language that only his sister understood to perfection. And that was a thing that I think it was like speech therapy or something when he was younger. And so that I can understand, you know, being like, okay, maybe that was like mutism. I don't know. I didn't ask for the official diagnosis when I heard the story, but it sounds like it. And that's, you could think, okay, that's a reason, and that, you know, she wouldn't have he wouldn't have known. But in the case of like Arabelle, she very clearly doesn't speak like at all any of the time. It's not like a situation like anxiety avoidance or anything where, you know, she suddenly stops being able to speak in the middle of the stuff and she wouldn't have figured out, okay, what triggered that. No, in this case, her sister left and then she became mute. That is what we were told in the narration. So very clearly it's like a thing that affects her all of the time. So because of that, she must know for certain what the trigger for this was, and therefore would not have answered "I don't know" to the question, "Why can't you talk?"
Okay, let's
to all the people who are new watching this, welcome to what Gacha review becomes sometimes.
Yep.
Okay, so these are the other stuff. So this is like the selection of like outfits, particularly. Apparently, you can choose the color of these, but not the actual combinations. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure that I have seen all of these in different Gacha Studio things by this point,
Oh boy.
except for the bottom left one. I don't think I've seen bottom left yet. I don't know.
Anyways, let's see what happens next.
Wait, hold on. There's apparently this is stupid Gacha props 1.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of these I think a lot of these are still in the Gacha actually. I recognize that sword because that's one we use for Fallen Angels, I think. Some of that stuff, like the purple staff at the bottom, I don't recognize from anywhere.
I
The
have
giant
to quick,
lollipop
so
is
I'll be right
definitely
back.
still a thing. Okay. And then we have so so these are a list of poses here. Okay. All right. I guess instead of like being shown them like visually, you have this. And I guess this also explains a lot as to why all the heights are the way that they are. I've said it before, but one of my like projects that I want to do in the future is like I want to test out and do like a one-off video of some kind in Gacha Studio just to see if you know, with the editing knowledge I have now, whether or not that can I can work around its issues. Because that's the thing. Even with Gacha Life, when I properly started, I knew that there was a lot of stuff I had to do. I wanted to convey, but it had to be done like separately. So I taught myself the editing techniques to account for that. That's always been my approach to Gacha. So going back and looking at the origin of stuff is going to be would be an interesting idea. Teaching on the edge of NSFW. So yeah, I'm there are some things that people have discussed in other videos where it's very strange that Luname particularly decided to go for like a child rating for the Gacha apps based on some of the things that are included in them. That I'm not going to this video, but there's a lot of people who have talked about the weird practices of Luname games to some extent. I rage muting that happens when my thoughts are going too fast or trying to be heard in my brain. My brain just goes, whatever, I go mute. Never lasts more than 10 minutes. Yeah. Again, I'm not sure that if that matches, but again, there's something where you think like, okay, well, this is, you wouldn't know where that started necessarily if it's been happening for a long time. Oh, hey, actual Josh is here now. You've been replaced for the beginning portions of this video. Suppose they're called air thrust and pole. It's exactly what it sounds like. Oh yeah, I should probably put that back on the screen then. Oh, never mind. They're not. Page 1 of 8, though. I mean, I guess that's, all of the... No, that's not... That doesn't match up. I like how they've actually, like, they've specified the skin tones, though. Because, I mean, yeah, sure, it doesn't give you the option to, give characters, like, blue or red or whatever, or purple. So alien characters are probably going to be a bit more of a challenge. But honestly, honestly, that does help out. That would help out people significantly. We're trying to like accurately, make something realistic. Yeah, as far as these, yeah, those two are not here. So I guess there are more poses than we give them credit for, to be honest. Because every time I hear about limited poses of Gacha Studio, I always think like, oh well, there was almost nothing you could do. But it seems like there was almost nothing being done. Now that I see that, now that Bon has mentioned that, yeah. There's other pages, then, which is me showing our outfit section, how it worked. The script was showing the props, also showing the props, and he showed insert. Oh, that's what you were trying to do. Okay, because that wasn't like entirely clear from this. But yeah, actually, now I go back and forth between them. Okay, fine. And we continue with the mute video. I'll be your prince. I'll protect you until death. He's like, I found adorable MC I must protect. I promise you. Vincent! This is the one time I'll excuse a character just appearing out of nowhere. Because it seems like he just jumped a significant distance to get here. And I will always appreciate people trying to show off how, like, friends have different body language with each other. My personal favorite pose is okay. So my Japanese is not exceptional, but I'm pretty sure that yamete means stop, like someone's exclaiming stop to somebody. So I'm just imagining it's like a pose of like something like that, maybe. I don't know. But that's probably why it's a pose, because like it's frequently like exclaimed in like a bunch of anime, particularly. We were mostly talking about gacha poses and such, but we missed like this character like zooming across the sky and now to appear here. Not zooming across the sky, he like jumped forwards like Vincent, like he was trying to like do like a dive towards him. Which yes, I can confirm has happened to me in real life. One of my friends did like tackle me when they saw me one time after a number of years. But yeah. Okay,
here we go.
No, that's not what the Yamate pose looks like. Well, once I look into Gacha Studio, then I will I will keep an eye out for that one. Vincent, drop another diss track and my life is yours.
Great.
All right. Yeah. Who's the Goral?
Wow, Gru, didn't know you'd be showing up here.
Who's the Goyle? It's me, Joey Wheeler.
Oh my god.
It's okay, like, how far are we into the video? We are halfway through currently, which actually... Oh, we're past the song, which means I can now unmute the video.
Wait, let me check.
What music is playing now?
You turn it down, please, but that is definitely less copyrightable.
Yeah. All right. Hi, I am Arabelle. Hello, I'm V. Watch my Michael Jackson moves. Oh, you're gonna try to do Michael Jackson moves with Gacha Studio? I am excited for this.
Oh no, I can't wait for this to not exist.
Come on. He's not doing it.
Well, that was an attempt. I'll give him that. It was an attempt. It wasn't a good attempt, but it is an attempt. I'll give it that.
All right. Dun, 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 dun.
You should have done the moonwalk. You should have just moonwalked. That'd be way easier to do.
Yeah. Well, honestly, in Gacha Studio, yeah, just walk backwards. You can just play the animation back. That would work perfectly well.
That would work perfectly because you just
yeah.
Okay.
Guys, this might be the Michael Jackson. I don't know.
It's the Michael Jackson. I don't know about that one, but
fittingly enough, I was actually working on a Michael Jackson parody today. A parody. Pops. Yeah. Vincent and V, V and V, the V Club. Yes, and along with Arabelle, they become the AV Club, which is an actual thing. So there you go. And they become the bestest of friends.
Bye.
Thank you, narrator.
Yeah, where were you, like...
Listen... Remember how I said that BTS was everywhere in the Gacha community?
Yeah,
at least they're not playing the song as the soundtrack. So that's a little bit of an improvement. But
that's a little bit of improvement, but still. Way to make this dated, I guess, very fast. You didn't even attempt to hide it. But you know what? Thanks for being honest about your music tastes, person.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways.
So I guess a few years later, so I guess now they're no longer children, which I guess means that Arabelle definitely was not driving that car before, so I'm still wondering why she was blamed for the accident.
Because everyone in these gacha videos suck. A few years later.
Yeah.
Why are they in your house?
Again, everyone just appears here. Yep. Arabelle, stand up. We're going to be late for class.
The designs changed to be less, like, I guess it's more just like regular clothing, I guess, now.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what happened in the Green Knight, because obviously the Green Knight has school uniforms, but I don't think they were these exact shirts. Let me handle this.
No, please don't. Bro! What? What was that?
Yeah, I guess because you couldn't like. But another thing I remember about Gacha Studio is that the positions of the characters were fixed. So there was some parts where you could put a character on the screen, and other parts where you just and you couldn't like move around. That came later. This scene is probably why Cute Spot had to say specifically that Arabelle wasn't deaf. That is, yeah, that's a good point actually. Because yeah, I guess yeah, the whole like listening to BTS thing would not have made sense. You're right. Let's go. And also, you can see again limited positions like Ghost, so that's why Vincent
Wow.
moved over into position where Arabelle was. Arabelle's now where V was, and V's where Vincent was.
That's so dumb. I'm glad I never used Gacha Studio.
Yeah. Some difficult workarounds.
Well, apparently, yeah, I was about to say it.
I guess he spun her around. Anyway,
like,
Arabelle,
whee!
go to class. We have to go enter basketball team. Okay. I guess as well they didn't want to like wait for Arabelle to like write ever, so she always has the answer ready. That's another thing with like early gacha where like I said before, but some stuff like that you would think would be like different images all happened at once. That came with time. People slowly began to realize that's how, humans would react to stuff. In the Green Knight just wore their regular clothes. Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Okay, class, we're going to learn. I guess this was like a university seminar because the teachers sat down with the rest of them. Okay.
Also, okay, I got so confused by one of these designs for a second, but okay, I was about to say, is there a furry in this class? But I think it's just a regular human being. I hope to goodness.
Oh, do you mean Tomoe?
Yeah,
because yeah, I think that's just like her her hair's been like put into like buns in the back. They're not like actual like animal ears.
yeah. Because I swear, it's a very common thing in Gacha to be an entirely town of furries. I'm just like,
Yes.
why?
Yes, and this is the thing that people like don't remember. The kind of like made the Mutant Girls stand out at the time that it was originally released was the fact that like almost all the characters were human. Because up until that point, I'd seen a few episodes of stuff where someone will like point out a difference that a character had on screen, and it's like, yes, look at you with your either your miscolored eyes or your lack of pupils or something like that. Meanwhile, it was like a straight up cat person saying that. It was like, hello, have you looked in a mirror? Like, what? Why is this person the weird one for having like deer horns or something? You have cat ears and a tail, something like that. So I knew that because of that the animal hybrids had to be like the first thing to go. And when Jay was like helping me redesign the characters from the music video Mutant Girl for the actual show, I like pushed back on every instance of animal ears being a thing except for Empress, because that was obviously character created by Jay. So I was like, okay, fine. I was like, fine, she can be mutant as well. We can work that into the story, but she's got to hide it under Various first. That's why. So the musical stood out because she was such a rarity in like that sphere at the time. But nowadays, with most people being like using the human characters, it's become the norm. A lot of the stuff that's made the musical stand out back in the day has become the norm nowadays, which on one hand is great, but on the other means that people looking back at the show right now, they think like, oh well, what is like the big deal about this now? It's like there was more to it than you're realizing because you're so new. Okay.
I'm gonna try and find something because I have not been able to. I've not found this for a long time. Oh,
Okay, fair. Bon also sent me stuff, so I'll put that on another 5 images.
I'm trying to find the thing. Where is it?
I was really excited to teach me about Gacha Studio today. My goodness.
Okay, I found it. Oh goodness, ads. 5 years ago, boy. Okay, I found what I was looking for. Let's continue now.
Yeah, hold on, because I was getting the images.
Okay, right.
All right, loading, and okay, I think this was the first one. So we have hide. We have hide skirt, which I'm confused about. Does that mean that the skirt just disappears, or that you're like hiding, like the skirt from like being exposing what's underneath? There's also nya apparently, which is just hilarious. I approve of that one. I approve wholeheartedly of a pose named nya, especially after yesterday's like one shots. Did you see that, William?
I don't think I did, but
Yeah, it was a D&D one shot called Catgirl Island.
oh god. I saw the title and was immediately like, what is Jacob on? I'm sorry.
So
Also, I don't know how you did the editing effect or during the stream where the characters lit up whenever people were talking properly.
Oh, that's like a separate site that that Aiden introduced me to. So
I
you
didn't
probably
know
ask
it
him
is.
about that. Yeah, I think it's literally just called React or something like that. It's like react.fuki.com or something. So you can put like if you're in a voice chat with people, you can actually log into the website and you can change your models, and then you can put like an image of something speaking, an image like as when someone's not
I
speaking.
might need to learn that for streaming in case I have multiple PNG tubers needed for different people.
Yeah, exactly. That I think that's what it's designed to do. It's not designed for D&D. We just made it work for that.
Yeah.
Because I like putting more visuals on the stuff.
Anyways, let's get into this.
Yeah.
Okay,
class.
class.
Oh wait. Yeah, there's more prop stuff, but I'll show them later.
Okay, class. Today we're going to learn.
May I help you? Yes. This class does task taught by Squidward. Oh, I see you're the student they told me about. Don't know who's oh Aiden's saying Jacob let me in. Okay. Well, maybe he'll tell you more about the PNG Tuber site. I guess I said his name and I summoned him from the cosmos.
I have like 10 minutes until I have to probably do something else, so this will be
Oh,
I mean, the
okay,
stream's not gonna
fair
go
enough.
longer with Aiden being here, but that's just the cause of things happening.
Yeah, for sure. Guess whether should have Baldy. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, today's subject. Meow. Okay.
Yes.
Hello. That
Hello.
was quite the intro there.
Indeed.
I
Oh,
haven't talked to you in months, Aiden.
why is Annabelle looks old, man?
Well, oh, you mean because of the gray hair? Yeah, not sure why that was the decision. Because she had that before.
She dyed it.
So.
Oh.
Yeah, well, her sister had it too, and I think her mum also. So I guess
okay. So just saying, as much as I don't like the style of this Gacha game, the one thing this has above Gacha Verse, Gacha Life, and Gacha Club is the fact that there's actually shading on the hair and stuff, which I actually kind of like that design choice in the games, which is kind of lost in the next few game iterations. But I think that's kind of cool. It adds more depth to designs. Granted, the art style itself isn't generally great, but
there are a couple of other things that we've mentioned that the Gacha Studio did that was kind of interesting, including a pose named Nya, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
But I've talked about some of those already. So
Catgirl Island. We love the Catgirl Island. It was great.
To be Mr. Oh yeah, because you're asking if you have recovered from yesterday. I mean, yeah, you had one of the hardest roads of recovery from yesterday. Arguably the hardest. So
I recovered fine. Listen, I fought Vin. I was fighting Vindel. The TM was fighting a player because the player the player had no consequence. I was trying not to let the player not get away with actually have consequences, for stealing. That didn't work.
Yeah.
There were no. He killed Toady, you know. Which, by the way, if I bring back Toady, I'm probably not going to give him the transformation mechanic. That was kind of made up on the spot. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him a
it sounds like
transformation.
everything about Toady was made up on the spot because he called it was Toady the Frog. Toady was not a toad.
Oh no, he was always Toady. He was always named Toady.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But
raises
no,
even
like
further
I
questions.
kind of made him up on the. I kind of made up character aspects of him on the spot. Like he was meant to be actually just a talking frog with a top hat. That was literally meant to be his character. But I gave him like the human turning a human kind of cursed. When he's happy, he's a human. When he's sad, he's a frog. When he's really depressed, he's a giant frog. Apparently, lore.
Who says
He became a potato
I'm
and
just
died.
confused right now.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
and the
there's a
doll
lot of stuff that
became
happened
and
that,
the possessed evil doll became Flowey.
what I was going to say to you, William, was that the context for Catgirl Island was that in the last episode of Quest: The Rising Sun, there was a specific like fight that we had against 4 spiders that
And
apparently
every
for some
time
reason
we try to use any charisma or anything like that, they transformed.
and 3 of them became catgirls. One of them eventually
Oh.
got charmed to become a catgirl as well. So
One was a flea, but then got charmed at the end of the
Yeah.
battle.
that was actually the one that I played, actually, Fred.
Yeah, Fred is the best, man. I love Fred. She's awesome.
Apparently. Ada seems to really like my D&D characters, so that's a good thing.
Fred
I
is
think.
fun. I want you to use Fred in the campaign one day, maybe. That'd be great.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know if
I
that would
know.
like work.
Alternate universe, potentially, of Quest of the Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we were saying was that because of that, and because KW wasn't around for Quest Rising Sun yesterday, we decided that instead we were going to flesh out the Catgirl characters because that was not a thing that the DM was expecting. And so we thought, okay, we'll each be one of them. We'll kind of like make them be a thing. And so and to give like a bit of an extra thing. And then Vin joined anyway as a non-Catgirl, and that was where everything,
Yeah.
turned ridiculous.
What do you mean? How that wasn't ridiculous at all.
Okay, well let's move on to the girl who can't speak.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
What's your name?
The Baldy voice, really, man. Baldy.
Yes.
Oh,
That's a
God.
simple question. Just write
What?
it down, or have it like already pre-written. I know some people like-
By the way, I hate how the shot keeps cutting it. Well, every shot's like a panning
Panning.
shot, but they're different panning shots. Like, there's different screenshots, but each
It's-
screenshot has its own like keyframes attached to it.
We've already complained about this.
It's
Yeah.
it's very disorienting, if you ask me.
I'm
I've mentioned
unfortunately
before, and
used
I'm
to
pretty sure that was the thing with like editing software. There was a default that people did not know how to turn off back in the day. Yeah, you have a chalkboard, use it. That's a good point. Yeah, I can't say the amount of times I've seen like the cliche of like writing someone's name on the board the first time you like enter a class. In fact, I have lived that cliche. That is how I show people like what my name was when I moved to Spain. And I remember specifically like when I was still writing, and then people like all the class, with thick Spanish accents were going like Cian. So I saw the pronunciation as well. So, and from that point onwards, that was how they addressed me. So I've lived through that. So it is a viable option for sure. Especially as the teacher is not
Let's just
currently
get to-
occupying the chalkboard with anything.
Okay.
That being said, okay, so Tomoe is laughing right now, I guess because shy girl, I guess, but also Fled.
Haha, you're
Yes.
shy. What a loser.
Yeah, so Tomoe's thing, okay, kind of makes sense, but Flare, on the other hand, why is Flare being like, weird, a person that doesn't speak? What witchcraft is this? I have
Maybe-
never encountered such a thing.
I mean,
Maybe
maybe
even a
they
place
maybe
where
maybe
everyone
they
speaks
think
is louder
she's
than
just
some.
shy, but like still, man, like there are plenty of shy people out there. I wouldn't say it's super weird.
Yeah. To be fair, that's
A
funny.
shy
Yeah,
person?
I
I never met a shy person. Everyone I met is super confident, 24/7.
They have egos the size of Saturn.
Mm-hmm. Name's Shy Brownie, and I'm back from the dead.
Let's continue on. Answer the gosh darn question.
Just answer. Wow, this is taking so long. Admittedly, this is the one shot that I think was, as in, like, you know, because I don't know how much of this got like trimmed down at all. I think all the shots were just like put in and without, they're not like squished or anything. But this one actually feels as long as it's supposed to in the video.
Yeah, I think. Oh, we also the ending. I don't know.
So hold on. So if Mr. B has been told about Arabelle, how did no one mention that she was mute before? Because it seems to be completely oblivious to that fact.
Apparently,
What
people
did
are
they
idiots.
say exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
To be
it's over.
continued. Will Arabelle answer his name? Will Mr. B remember the briefing that he was given? Find out next time on That One Mute Girl.
The mutant.
Okay, well,
the
I'm gonna
mutant
need
girl.
to get that. Oh, okay.
They've already made
Before I
that
leave,
joke.
Aiden, can you send me the link to that one site that you use for like the
Sure.
thing, the D&D thing? I would have for like multiple PNG things. So if I can figure out how to use that, then that'd be great.
You have to get everyone who is involved in that to sign up for it and change their
Yeah.
models manually themselves. But apart from that, you know, should work like a
Alright.
treat.
All right. Anyways, I'm gonna head out now because I have an event to be part of, or try to be part of and make it. And probably fail, but I'll try to do something. Yeah. Thanks for having me here, Jacob. And
I'm sending you the website right now, DMs
Alright,
right now.
thank you. All right. I'll see you all later.
Bye.
Does the reaction thingy work on streaming webcams? That's a fair question. I think I said
no
I don't know.
clue.
From what I know about like virtual cameras or something, I think you'd have to like put that into something that can use a virtual camera like OBS, and then you use that as your webcam. I think that's how you would do that. So you need like I think you need like an extra step, but ultimately you can make it work. That's why I say, you know, with editing, you can make a lot of things work. Usually. What did I miss? Oh, the video just ended. Yeah, the video just ended.
Yeah, as I got here, so you know. Yay. Although, did much plot happen? Obviously, I haven't seen much of this plot, but it seems like the plot really didn't even get started with this episode. Like, she just started going to school, but we didn't even get her first class.
Well, we have a few bits and pieces. A lot of this was, I guess, like a flashback of some kind, because this like shows like how she met her two best friends as children, and a little bit of you know, behind, like info about her.
Oh, so they were meant to be a lot younger.
Well, they were a lot younger to start off with in the video. They aren't currently.
Oh,
like if you go back to here, like, you know, this is her as a child.
It looks like a maid.
Yes, she does. So this was them as children, and then afterwards you have a bit like later on as far as you know, like we're like 3/4 of the way to so now they're teenagers that they are, so that's why just think to BTS, by the way. That's what's on
fake love. Fake love.
Yeah. I still say 5 for like the because Bomb was guessing the age of Arabelle as a child before. What doing in her room? Have you never had like friends that will just, you know, barge into your room at times, or they will spend like a long time in your house or you in theirs, and that's just like a normal thing that's accepted by everyone. That's pretty much what this feels like. Imagine Gacha with that thingy. That thing you guys use for your D&D characters. I mean, we could again, if the virtual camera idea works, then we could set that up. But that being said, this goes back to what Bomb was saying before about, like, you know, like my VTuber, where if I put the VTuber back on, the people miss out on the times that I, like, you know, storm out or, you know, scream into a pillow or stuff like that.
Have your VTuber storm out.
I mean, again, depending on what thing I use, I can make the VTuber walk in certain situations, and that's like the first thing that Bond saw on my channel is what was one of those. But apart from that, not really, because a lot of the like actual video programs have been are usually quite expensive or like require like leap motion controls or something, which are also a huge expense. And processing power too. I guess I might have the power. I do want to bring back the VTuber like as a test one time, just to see like if the computer can like actually run it, and then I might use it for some like more tutorials and gacha or something like that. Maybe.
I don't know.
Also for
I
some
mean,
bunch what ifs.
I mean, maybe. I mean, depends. I guess. Yes.
Hmm.
With those
Yeah, those
sassy hips. Dang.
Yeah. I hate making him leave, but I love watching him go. It's one of those. Hey, do you think our friends are like, oh wow. I can't vouch for your real life, unfortunately. But that being said, this is somewhat understandable. I had one friend in Spain where and like almost every single Friday he would ask like to go round to my house, like completely unprompted. A lot of the time it wasn't possible just because like actual like plans and arrangements needed to be made before that, but
He just wants to hang out with you, man.
most of the time.
We're
No,
just
yeah,
wanting to hang out with you.
I understand completely, and a lot of the times we did in fact hang out, but yeah, it was usually a thing where it's like like our mothers were also like good friends, and so whenever they saw like both of us like come up to them and then like ask his mom a question, it's like, okay, I know this is going. Here we go again. Yeah, this is the thing. Why I think I'm here so often. In all fairness, my strongest and closest friendship group at the moment is the one that is with online people, so I can understand that too. That being said, I should be meeting up with some IRL friends within the next month because before I go to Spain, it'd be nice to do that, and also because now I can drive, so
Ooh.
I can go places or take.
When you driving to the US, huh?
When they build a tunnel that will make that work.
When you driving to the US, man?
I don't think I'm up for the longest journey that I have done so far has been like 45 minutes one way, 45 minutes the other way back. I'm not sure if I'm equipped yet to go across the Atlantic Ocean.
Nah, you got it. Got it.
I can actually imagine that being a thing in the future of like
Probably.
like an underground road with like a bunch of underground motels or something, which does sound really interesting now that I say that out loud.
No, but you should take a trip to the United States, I mean, it's not great here, but
We could chill.
Oh, hold on, sorry, I missed this conversation. Those parts, the truth is, imagine bombs set people and still think they're the same person. Everyone is now when I was living my person, I didn't have friends who come to my house. There's no is to express those sides of me. Negative 3 is what I meant to say. I mean that is something. I guess from what I've heard of a lot of the time with like internet personalities of any size is that people tend to show like one side of them or develop a persona and then express that and only that, and then afterwards and then hide like other parts of themselves. I mean for me, I will say I am like 95% open book, so I know I'm very much the exception to that, but I do understand that idea. Yeah, like
I just hide my sadness for the most part, or the stream sadness I deal with, which is great on my end. I get very sad.
Usually if I'm sad, I don't want it to like reflect in what I'm like affect my judgment of stuff. That's why I actually like canceled a stream like when I failed my first driving test, because I was like, I'm not in the right headspace to give something like a fair review. So
You're just like, this all sucks. This all smells like garbage. I hate it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or more realistically, just making like way harsher statements, or I don't know, just like shutting down. So yeah, honest, the more Rich got excited most on streams. I thought it was Angry French Guy. Imagines the more girly pop and creative side hyperfixates on everything, and BTB is the calm and divergent scene on Discord. Okay, all right then. Yeah, another person who uses like a persona much more is BB, because she plays up the more like arrogant, confident, self-indulgent side, which is not to say that doesn't exist in like regular form, but like there's a difference. I guess I understand. I mean, it's stuff a hybrid main OC. Inside child is cyber, stuff like Gacha OC. That's another thing as well that I guess wasn't present in this video because maybe that was not a thing that the cute spud started. But I do know that I've played off of this as well, that a lot of people, when they make their Gacha OC, they're making like the idealized version of themselves they could not be in real life. Most of the time that ends up being like a hybrid OC. And and then they make themselves otherwise. But then again, they don't show too much of a difference between the pair, the two different versions, so not really sure about that one. But yeah, that's why when I made my OC, I just made myself in a blue suit. I guess that was the one unrealistic part, is I did not at the time own a blue suit. I own several now, so I've become that version. So I was portraying what I became in the future. That's how that works.
The first instance of Oracle powers activating.
Potentially, yeah. Very much like Chuckles exists as a bit. I will remind everyone watching this, just in case, that Chuckles is not my original character. Anyway,
God, I need to, you know what? In my campaign for a Butter Bunch, I need to write a clown episode. Deal with clowns, man.
I mean, yeah, that would make a lot of sense actually, because I mean, what you're going for is like like mystery oriented. So
mystery oriented, not to relatively episodic, with some overarching plot threads.
Yeah, you could have it so that someone is like sabotaging like a clown act or something like that.
Sabotaging a clown act in the local circus.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a circus. Probably, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna have you guys travel too far. I mean, I guess that you guys are gonna travel far.
Well, I was gonna say, based on the source material, I think we will most likely be traveling a while.
Yeah.
But that being said, circuses also travel. It could be a traveling circus that happens to be in the area as well.
Yes.
But anyway, those are all options. As far as final thoughts of this video, so
I haven't seen much of it besides the very ending. So, wow, this video was horrible. I hate it. Grr. I mean, it was so good. I like that one part with the
This is where we find out that Aiden failed a driving test today as well.
Nah, I haven't took a driving test in a while. I did do a driving assessment recently, but not really a driving test per se. It was more just seeing where I'm at, rather than trying to get my license.
Oh, okay. I see.
Very different.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I was going to ask what the difference was, and like, yeah, okay, fine. Let's join Jacob to review the Ghost Skull, and we didn't realize that BB's meanness was a persona. yeah. It's one of the things that like doesn't always blend with reviews too much, and has since been accounted for. You're just very vested getting like real all the time on streams. I got much revenge in the one shot with the Frog King. But after that, it was pretty fun to talk to. Yeah. Are you doing testing test students? Oh, well, okay. Best of luck to you. All right. So no, but actually, final thoughts on this video. So, I probably have to see more videos like of the time. Like, I want to see some more stuff that was like from 2017, early 2018 to. Well, I guess this is June 2018. This was not even that. This wasn't that long before I started Gacha, actually. Well, I guess it was like ultimately, or like just before. I was on the Aphmau wiki and met Jay and Natasha, so maybe that was why it was all merging. I was really towards the very beginning, but I'd like to see obviously some more stuff to see like what they were missing that this one kind of like hit, because of course this was going to feel very bare bones at the time, but the way that Emily hyped it up, it seemed like it seemed like it was going to go down the route of like almost like extreme wholesomeness in comparison to Heat, I suppose, and it definitely veers more into that territory, because I guess we don't see too much of we like get hints of like we get hints of.
Was Heat even popular in 2018? Like, I don't know if Heat was as popular in 2018.
Well, like, it started to become popular.
Late 2018, mid 2019, I think, is when it became really popular.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it had a resurgence like after this video came out, not because of it. But just can we see more concerning Gacha Studios right now? All right, sure. Because Bond sent me a bunch of images before that I haven't put on the screen as of yet. So we have
She's
apparently
that could be like
this
a
is,
pose like she's like looking somewhere, like trying like looking over something, maybe like looking.
I mentioned this before, but again, not very good at Japanese, but Yamete, I'm pretty sure, means stop, and it's one of the things that like anime characters will yell out sometimes. So I'm pretty sure it's meant to be used for if someone has to yell stop for some reason. So I think it's like an idea of like confronting somebody, like you're angrily like pushing forward, like how dare you do such and such, like that's
or maybe stopping all of a sudden, being like you're running, but then you have to stop because maybe there's a car in the road or something. It's like.
I suppose, but that person's also still leaning forward. You think they'd be leaning backwards because they have to like use your leg to,
So much you can kind of like wobble. You weeble wobble. Wobble, 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 wobble.
Okay.
Pole.
So then we have pole, air thrust 1 and air thrust 2. I think they're like meant to be used in tandem. Then you have twerk, which does not have a pair actually, so people can't make a twerking like idle animation. Good call there, I suppose, but the rest of them, yeah. That's
pole. What do you mean by pole, huh? What do you mean by pole?
Pretty sure it's that, but Bond said it's exactly what you imagine beforehand. So, let that serve.
That's scary.
Then we have me. We had Nya before. We have Meow. I wonder what the difference is actually.
You have
I don't know.
Stretch.
Yeah. Also, now I'm just present. You have Witch Ride and
Witch Sit. I guess that's in a room.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, some of these actually seem like they would be extremely useful, and the fact there are 112 of them at least, but more than that because there's another whole page of this. The fact that there are so many, it kind of makes me think that people didn't look too much into the Gacha Studio pose and just kind of used all of the same ones on the first pages, which is kind of a shame, honestly. Anyway, now we have this one, which is I'll just show birth because the effect comes with the pose. Yeah, that makes sense. Fun fact, actually, the first time that Pop Josephine ever got put into Gacha Life was actually in a one-off where Jay just went like, "Hey, by the way, I haven't made Pop in Gacha Life yet, so here she is at the end of a video," and it was her going Super Saiyan, or as you said then, Saiyan. She went Super Saiyan, and that was her reaction, I guess, for her plans being foiled yet again. I didn't change everything with Pop's character for the mutant girl. Some stuff was the same. Knowing Gacha now, characters never stop for cars. Their characters always get hit and always die. Maybe that's what happened in in the episode, because he was implied to be blamed for the incidents of like Arabelle's meant before like Belle's death at a car accident. Maybe they were actually like not inside of a car. Maybe they were actually just walking on the street, and Belle, being so young, didn't know to look both ways, and Arabelle was supposed to be watching her at the time. That might be a reason. I don't know. That might be a possibility, but yeah, ultimately it's a shame we don't get to hear that now. Maybe that's because episode 2 seems to go into the origins, because they're implied to hear like why someone can't talk. But
I mean, she could just be born mute. I don't know. It doesn't.
No, she's not born. She's not born mute. It was specifically the sister's car accident that made her develop mutism.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was just wondering if they just felt the need to make an artificial reason of how she's mute instead of just saying she's mute already,
They did, and it was the first thing, because it was the first thing that was narrated, and then it was promptly ignored because apparently Arabelle doesn't know why she can't talk, despite the fact there was a very clear inciting incident for her becoming mute in the first place.
How do you not know you were
in a car accident? I mean, I guess trauma could do like weird things to your brain, but I feel like you would know an accident happened. You may not remember much about the accident because trauma.
Yeah, she 100% knows that. She 100% knows an accident happened, because that's when she, got like dropped by her parents. She lives with her aunt Sal because her parents apparently blame her for the incident and just like abandoned her or whatever.
What? Oh god, I forgot. Gacha
Yeah,
had
so
some weird abusive parent trend.
Yeah, I was saying before that some of that stuff probably came from this video, because if this is the video that blew up and got Gacha to be like seen by the masses, then it probably was the originator, at least the series was, of a bunch of different Gacha tropes. And yeah, like the abusive parents thing, not so much in this video, because all we saw was them like walking away in like one visual. Which, by the way, at least there wasn't like it wasn't all exposition. It was like something like abstractly to show that. But that's all we saw for that one. So that might have been a case of like, okay, so somebody saw like, okay, this is a good idea for a story, but I will develop the fact that the parents hate this person and favor the other child, and then maybe the hated child came from that. Alternatively, one of the characters has heterochromia, and we haven't like addressed that yet, but his eye is completely red. That seems like it's hinting at something particularly. But who's to say at the moment?
Bond just didn't mean what Pole looks like, and yeah, that's bad. That's real bad.
The fact that I didn't get sent that probably means that it shouldn't go on the stream. So I'm just gonna take your word for it, I think. But
although just saying with the Gacha characters, like I think it's a preset or whatever. With the Gacha character's face, she looks so disinterested while doing it. She's like, pole dancing again. Oh well.
Well, yeah.
like dang girl, at least put some energy into your pole dancing. Like,
I somewhat think that was not customized, because that was not the important part of that image.
Yeah. I know. I just think it'd be fun. I just think it's funny if like a pole dancer just being just so done with the job, being like, oh, whatever.
Maybe they were so dramatic that Arabelle's mind blocked it out. Was that before this? I forgot the name Arabelle existed. Now I found it pretty.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you would know if you were. How old was she when it happened? Was she like a Gacha baby?
This is the question. But no, that's why Bomb was guessing 5 this whole time. We don't quite know exactly, but she was child age.
Yes, the child age.
Yeah. No, I didn't complain about the quality of the pole darts. Oh my goodness.
Just saying though, like the problem, I feel like making a mute character in Gacha, there is a I'm talking about
I'm watching. I just saw the image. That's what I was laughing at.
Yeah. So the problem with having a mute character in Gacha is the fact that there aren't enough hands to do sign language properly. So you have to have their character rely on writing.
I actually think that was somewhat creatively handled in this, because since she only developed it recently, or at least recently for her.
She looks like a teenager, maybe.
At first. She developed it recently, developed it like when we saw her in the scene, she used a notepad for that reason. So that way she was still able to do something because she wouldn't have learned sign language that quickly. That being said, for the teenage sequences, yes, for the teenage sequences, that probably should have come up. I do remember there was like one video that I watched back in the day that either had a mute girl or was a deaf girl, and during that time they actually they did like the speech bubble signs or something on the top of the screen.
I mean,
again,
I guess if you can't show that, I mean, at least saying that she is signing, or put signing in parentheses, signs blank, and have a pose of her hands out, and just imagine that. I mean, that's a decent workaround if you can't do the exact sign language poses.
Yeah, and for the record, Cute Sparta can do captions, so that is one way around that. If anything, that would also solidify the difference between like what captions are for the audience here and what speech bubbles would be, because instead of using them interchangeably, but they didn't use them interchangeably. It's just for the narrator, but that would kind of be like a diegetic, not like non-diegetic sort of deal almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seriously, if you don't have to go for that Northwest Elementary University. Oh, change the name of it. Oh, so people could find it easier in search. I mean, I don't know unless they know to search up North Pass. I guess if they are used to it, but okay, that's good to know. I'll change the title of the of the review then. I'm guessing R was 5 and Little Sister was 2 or 3. When we saw it was Little Sister. Yes, it was Little Sister. So yeah. Is there anything else I need to say about this? Yes. So another thing that we haven't seen in this one, I guess in terms of what Emily meant as far as like this being like a more wholesome interpretation, is that there's a lot more of like a positive influence in, you know, the character's life. It's not like someone's like in Tie Down the Luck who like no one seems to believe in or whatever. And as a result of that, the character isn't, you know, like super edgy or depressed or something. So I'm assuming that once again that stuff either all came later or didn't have as much traction by this stage. So yeah, in some ways it's a breath of fresh air. In some ways it's like, well, I mean, this is definitely a first project of some kind. So there was always going to be room for improvement. But hey, you know, it was a decent start, and if it got people talking about the game, then fantastic. Why this is the video that blew up as opposed to any of the others that were around at the time, that I'm still not sure about. That's why I want to see more stuff that was like around this era.
Probably dumb luck. That's how it happened on YouTube. Dumb luck.
It depends.
Want some dumb luck.
Like it depends on that because that there's the thing is that, you know, some stuff on YouTube is dumb luck, some of it is like down to like actual technique. How did I do being a Josh ripoff today? Well, apparently, based on what Josh is saying now, you've been more effective than he has so far. And you've actually you've actually named the files, which makes it easier for me to display the stuff. So you did exceptionally well today in that regard. So who knows what will happen next time? So yeah, go ahead and send me some old gachas. Send me the old stuff. I want to see more old. Gacha something that people haven't really seen before on YouTube. Yes, but I'm saying that because gacha videos were around before this point, we know because of Emily. Why is it this video the one that had that? Was it all dumb luck, or was there something else to it that it had over some of the others? And I won't know that until I see some of the others. That's why I'm not concluding anything as of yet. All right, but we'll see that some other day. This is and of course we'll come back to this series because, you know, I want to watch it all the way through because it wasn't just this one video. The series was what gained so much traction for people. So that's that being said, I look forward to that some other day. For now, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. I've subscribed to us already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.
Caca drugs.